South, we dirty. Can y'all really feel me? Baby girl. East Coast feel me. West Coast feel me. Can y'all really feel me? East Coast feel me. West Coast feel me. Dirty South, dirty. Can y'all really feel me?
What's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are making our own headband wig. I'll say it again. We are doing this on our own. We are going rogue, people. This popular trend has been floating around recently and I'm obsessed with it. Anything that makes my life easier to the point where I don't have to worry about my hair or I can get up and go in the mornings, I am down for it. So I thought, why not try to recreate this popular trend with some cheap pack hair and a headband from the beauty supply. Alright, so this is what I am using, it kind of in lieu of a wig head because I don't have a wig head, but this is basically, it's this glowy sphere that I have in my apartment for decor, and it was roughly the size of my head, so this is what we'll be using today. I also just picked up this beauty supply store wig cap, and I wanted to make sure it was thick enough. I knew I was going to have a lot of hair. Speaking of hair, I didn't really have a plan, or I didn't really know what I wanted in terms of hair when I went into the beauty supply store. I just know I wanted cheap pack hair and I knew I wanted it to be curly. I think that curly hair is just easier for me to maintain, especially when it's cheap and synthetic. So I am using this 60-second glue. The girl described it as eyelash glue and I was like, really? Eyelash? But I've seen a lot of girls use this for wigs and wefts, so that is what I will be using to glue it on. The only thing is you have to make sure you hold it into place for 60 seconds. Any quicker and it's going to fall off. You have to make sure you hold it into place, and this is important because it's gonna be a lot of hair stacked. It's a lot harder to like re-glue pieces if they're not glued on right and go back in. So I wanted to make sure the first time around that it stuck. So a little trial and error, but I did go through and cut the pieces. I just cut as I went instead of pre-cutting because I knew that I was going to need enough space at the very front of the wig for the actual headband, which I was going to attach separately. So I was just trying to measure out, and I did put this on my head beforehand just to kind of see how it was going to fit, which I would highly recommend. Keep in mind this hair advertised itself as like a one stop and shop type of deal, so it said that all 3 bundles that came with this should be enough to fill up a whole head for whatever your needs may have been, a sew-in, a wig, anything. So I didn't have to really worry about running out of hair. I just had to worry about kind of making sure I paid attention to how much hair I had left. It's a lot of hair, but it's all about the style that you want to do. I knew for this wig I wanted it to be curly hair. I think that's a lot easier for me to maintain. I definitely do want to try this with straight hair too. I just have to, with straight hair I do think I have to be a little bit more picky because you get the wrong straight synthetic hair and that will tangle quickly. But this hair is actually really decent for the price. I've been able to put water in it, and I don't mean soak it with water, I mean just like wet my hand and run my hand through it just to kind of get any kinks and curls out. But I actually really ended up liking this hair, so I would definitely go to the beauty supply store, look around, see what you can find. You kind of never know until you try it if you're gonna like that brand. And I know that that's annoying because sometimes you can pick something and it can be trash, but every once in a blue moon you do run across some decent hair. And this hair I thought was really cool. I'm going to link it down below if I can find it. Again, I got it at my local beauty supply store, but I'm sure you could find it at a Sam's Beauty or something, so check the description box for that. But y'all, look at this. Like, the hair is really pretty. I was actually really surprised at the quality of it. Like, I think it looks really decent. She's coming together. We're doing it. I knew that this style and that this was easily accomplished, but I was just really lazy about doing it, so I'm glad I finally did it, and I think it's gonna turn out really cute. But I'm just working my way up again. This whole bottle, this one bottle, was enough for the whole head too, so keep that in mind too. You don't have to get the biggest bottle of wig glue. You can get a smaller bottle and make it work. We're doing all of this under budget, under $25, yeah, under $25. It's a beautiful thing. As I got up towards the top, I had to make sure to cut smaller pieces, obviously. I was making my way up. I also wanted to make sure it wasn't gappy. This is a lot of hair, so I didn't really have to worry about that too much, but I wanted to make sure you couldn't see any gaps in between the wefts and that it looked cohesive in the back, because the whole point of this is, you know, a quick on and go type of wig. So I want to be able to sling it on and it looks okay and there are no gaps in it and that it looks orderly. It was also really helpful that I leaned this over the counter because the hair is pretty long. You're going to see once I actually put it on, it's giving Tangled. We're giving Rapunzel. Very, very long. So I did end up trimming it a little bit. You're going to see later on. Okay, don't hate me, but I have no idea what I actually did with the footage of me attaching the actual headband, but it was a pretty easy process. I just took and added glue to the actual headband. I got a cheap one from the beauty supply store, and I pretty much just put some glue on the wig cap and then I put the headband right on top of it. It was a pretty easy process, and again, you don't have to do this. You can also sew if you are good at sewing. That's another way to do it. I appreciate the quickness of the glue. But this is my hair prep, which is pretty much just gelling down my actual hair. I did put clips in the wig just because security, and I glued those in too. I put the clips strategically in the front because, you know, I wanted it to be secure, and then I put one in the back. With this headband wig, luckily I can put other headbands on top of it, so I just chose this black one just because black is kind of a neutral color, and I just slipped it on, guys. I was so excited. It does look really bulky, and a lot of that has to do with how I have my hair underneath, so I'm going to show you how it looks a little bit later when it's more tamed. But I did again want to cut the hair. It's a lot of hair, y'all, and I wanted it to have, like, I don't know, a little bit of order, so I just kind of cut in a downward motion. I wanted to give it layers, but I don't really know how to do layers, so I just did what I normally do, which is basically giving it a nice light trim, just kind of giving it a little shape, a tiny shape. There is no true method to this. I just kind of eyeball it to where I feel like it mimics different wigs I've had in the past with curly hair. And yeah, that was the process. I also am going in with some of my hair mousse. This hair mousse is the truth. So yeah, I did go in and kind of just trim it to my likings, but this is basically how the wig turned out. Keep in mind, it is gonna lay down based on how your hair is underneath, if that makes sense. So make sure your hair is braided down all the way. I did find that when I did braids that were a little bit wider, the wig looked wider, and when I did cornrows straight back, it looked a lot more tight into my head. And I almost forgot the best part. She's interchangeable, meaning we can pretty much just slip on any type of headband over it. So if you want a different color, a different vibe, we could do that. And I just slip it, literally just put it right on top. And that's what's good too about the black one being kind of like the base headband. Black is a pretty, you know, dark color, so it just kind of blends in with the hair. And we've got a new headband wig. This is me just messing around with it, playing with it. It is a lot of hair, but it's also relatively tame, surprisingly. Like, it's not all over the place, and I did like that I was able to style it, just because I'm like, even with the headband wig, you still want a little bit of variety. At least I do. I like to dress it up, you know, try different styles, be able to play with it.
Since you've been gone, I've been just okay. I know you mad, you didn't see my way. Since I've been gone, I've been out of space. I let little shawty go.
This is me kind of the next day. Once my baby hairs settled a little bit, I was able to pull more of them out. And again, with this style, the versatility, I can have all my baby hairs out or none of them out. We can do both. But I think this headband wig turned out really cute. I'm really excited that I tried it. I definitely feel like I want to try it with straight hair next, so maybe that video will be the upcoming one. But if you like this one, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Let's be YouTube friends forever. And I'll see you guys in my next video.